Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis here. Xur has arrived in his tree fort on Nessus. This is for March 18th and the weekend, and we're here in Watcher's Grave. So let's see what he's got. Just a reminder, all of the exotics right now for armor have kind of garbage rolls, and all of the weapons, or the legendaries at least I should say, have the exact same stats. This is a known issue. Bungie did mention it in the TWAB. When this gets fixed, you guys will obviously see it very plastered on the thumbnail. The good rolls are back. But for now, all of the armor is for collections purposes only. Legendaries is basically just for transmog only. But we'll go through the exotic armor real quick. We've got the sealed Ahamkar graphs. Melee hits reload your equipped weapon. If somebody has a good loadout or a good way that this works well for you, let me know in the comments below, just because I don't play Hunter that much, and I could see you could use it for like reloading heavies and things like that. But generally, I don't know if this is really worth the exotic slot, but I could be wrong. For the Peregrine Greaves, bonus damage on airborne shoulder charges. This is the only way to actually get a shoulder charge one-hit kill in PvP is to equip these. So if you like shoulder charge, this is your way to still get those one-hit kills, because if you're on the ground, it doesn't do that anymore. I have my questions and issues with that choice, but it is what it is. Chromatic Fire, precision weapon final blows from non-elemental kinetic weapons. So Stasis apparently doesn't count either, but I haven't tested it yet. But they create an explosion in the element of your subclass. So if you're running Void and you shoot somebody with a kinetic hand cannon, it's going to get a Void explosion. So still a fun one to use. If you enjoy your kinetic weapons a lot, the explosions can be entertaining. And if you pair that with something like Void, might get a little bonus entertainment out of that one. The weapon is the Colony. It fires insectoid robot grenades that basically will chase out their targets. Kind of a cool weapon to use for a little while, but it doesn't really top any metas or have anything more than just meme purposes most of the time. Don't forget to buy your exotic, 97 shards if you are working on building out your collection. You can at least get a decent roll from this one, as these are all kind of terrible, and if you own them, it doesn't help you. This can be a roll that might be beneficial. Now let's look at the weapons. All right, for your weapons, you've got a couple. The Ikelos is actually working properly again. I think that one's been fixed. Subsistence and Disruption Break I don't think is that exciting. You look more for something like Rampage here. Imperial Needle. If you don't have a Void Bow that you like, while Swashbuckler is good, Hipfire, not so good. But I have used that in random moments if enemies do get close to me. Imperial Needle just feels good as a bow. It's a pretty fast draw time. And your perks on this one, not bad, because you can get Polymer String, which will actually bring the draw time down smaller. And you've got the draw time masterwork down here. So you've actually got a very fast draw outside of the fact that Hipfire, which every so often I will actually use in PvP, but Swashbuckler, adding up that damage. If this is Archer's Tempo, this would basically be a god roll, but as it's at 4 out of 5, it's still not bad. And if you don't have a Void Bow that you love, this one always just feels good to me. If it had Archer's Tempo, it would be a must buy. Overflow and Rangefinder on a Scout Rifle, it's fine, just doesn't do much for me. Auto-loading holster and threat detector on a shotgun, probably not too exciting. Clown cartridge and quick draw on a sniper rifle, again, a weird mix of perks. Underdog, I just will pretty much skip that every time. I will say Swarm, I've seen this up here a couple of times. Killing Wind and One for All. Killing Wind is final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short time. And hitting 3 separate targets with a machine gun that has 60 bullets, you're probably going to hit 3 targets. You've also got Flared Magwell to boost your reload speed if you need it, Corkscrew Rifling to give you a nice little boost in range and handling, and you got a little reload speed as well. If you don't have a Swarm from all of the Nightfalls and anything like that, this is a very solid roll, and you're definitely pretty easily going to hit multiple targets to proc One for All with this one, which gives you a huge boost in damage. So if you don't have a good One for All or one good Swarm, definitely buy this one. Imperial Needle, not a god roll, but a fun bow to use, and definitely one that if you don't have it, it's kind of hard to acquire an Imperial Needle right now since it was from last year. As for the exotics that we've got, you've got Hawkmoon with Opening Shot. Not a bad roll, to be honest with you. Opening Shot is pretty good. Flared Magwell, or Alloy Mag is always going to be there because you tend to want to use that entire clip for the paracausal shot. You've got Chambered Compensator for stability, recoil, a little less handling, but overall seems mostly okay. I think this could be a little better for range, possibly. Polymer Grip increases handling as well. So you got a good chunk, you got kind of handling balance here, but Opening Shot. I don't know if this is worth like all the cost of like the Exotic Cipher and the Ascendant Shard and everything, but Opening Shot is a pretty good roll for Hawkmoon. More of a PvP roll, I would bet you, much more than a PvE roll, but not a bad one. As for Dead Man's Tale, you have Subsistence. Now, 4 times the charm, probably still going to be your best one for overall DPS purposes sake. I used the Subsistence version to like level up the Catalyst when I got it, but overall I think this is not going to be quite as beneficial because you're not going to be killing a ton of ads with this thing. that are going to benefit you quite as much that Subsistence would do. Something like 4 times the charm would be better for PvE. So I think you could probably easily skip Dead Man's Tale. Opening Shot, I would be curious to see if anybody just loves this in the comments, but I don't know if either of these are really worth your, like, Cypher and Ascendant Shard. Personally, you might want to wait and just, you know, check other comments and see. On Hawkmoon, Opening Shot's not going to be bad, but again, Subsistence not that great. So overall, most things are going to be for collections. We got an old exotic. These are all garbage stats. Decent bow, decent machine gun, but that is basically Xur. I am going to be streaming Elden Ring to most of this afternoon, evening, and tomorrow. So if you want to come hang out on twitch.tv/Ebontis, I'm going to be streaming Elden Ring and jumping into it very, very soon. And then for anything else you want to find me on Twitter, it's Ebontis. Right here on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that alert bell, drop a like if you enjoyed this video. And for those of you who are YouTube subscribers, or YouTube members, I should say, and Patreon subscribers, thank you for going the extra mile. I'm starting to put you guys on this thumbnail, so thank you very much for all of you, and I'll see you soon.